Okay. Everybody knows John.
Hey, you have to remember your. If anybody's going to talk to you about you got to be quiet.
Just rip it out.
Yeah.
Lift the cord. All right. Hey, everybody.
Hello.
I hate introducing myself. I'm Randy Jones with Incredible Tiny Homes.
Hello,
It's like
Randy
the start of a show. Ooh, big deal.
Wow.
All right. Hey, we are here tonight with a international code inspector.
You didn't say master.
Master. International Master Code Inspector.
Professional.
Randy, come on, man.
God, there's so many. That's
International Master Code Professional.
International
title.
Master Code Professional. Now, isn't that something? Now, listen, every inspector I've ever met, I wanted to assassinate.
Yeah.
Okay?
You said it right before the forest
Yeah.
is done.
What?
But
Yeah.
I got my running shoes.
But I've had a change of heart. Okay. No, we've
Say
had
it again who it is.
there's a good electrical inspector here in Nucott County. He's awesome. Mike is great.
Yeah.
But this is Jimmy. Jimmy, I've known, God, when did I meet you, Jimmy?
30 years ago.
30 years
Oh
ago.
my goodness.
And he's lived in Florida. I've lived up here and in Florida and all that stuff, but we've stayed in touch because our good friend between the two of us is Foster. It's his Joseph's dad that works here. And Foster and I are good buddies since we were kids. But Jimmy is a master code professional inspector. I know I didn't say it right again. In Florida. International.
Master Code
See, I thought he was
Inspector.
just an inspector, building inspector, right?
I think I said it wrong.
And he's an international master code professional inspector.
Now, what is that? Explain that.
All right.
Master Code Professional has to have a certain number of certifications in that area, from plans examining to building official, fire inspector, accessibility inspector, plans examiners in all the different areas. And you have to have all your cores. And that's kind of what a Master Code Professional is after you obtain a certain number of certifications.
Wow.
He certifies everything.
Everything.
Like everything. You walk in the building, you name it, he can certify it, he can inspect it.
And there's only 500 of him
in the world.
in the world.
Yeah.
Probably say that. Maybe they didn't.
There's
hear
only
it.
500 people that have that certification in the world. There's
Yes.
only 2 in North Florida, or the state of Florida, right?
North Florida.
North Florida.
Mhm.
And so, of course, he has never seen our arched building. And I was like, oh, no, I don't want him to come into my building. Because that was built off the cuff on the ground in my mind. And, of course, it's working. And I've never asked him, what'd you think of it?
It was awesome.
It was awesome.
Yeah.
There
Really?
you go.
There you go.
Yeah. So how we built it with the webbing and all that stuff. And
Yeah, you think outside the box.
yeah, I do. That's for sure.
Yeah.
Yep. So he's been walking through all our tiny homes, looking at them. He's going to be here for about a week.
Yeah.
Foster, our buddies, coming up from Florida, and
Mhm.
it's kind of a big time. We haven't seen each other in years, and Foster's not been here in years, and
That'll be fun.
so I'm excited about seeing all the guys.
I love
again.
what Brenda just said. Brenda just said he has all the toppings on his sundae.
That
That's
exactly.
a good way to say it.
Yeah.
And also, Sharon said that's impressive.
Yes.
Yeah.
So he's here looking, he's my friend, but I know enough about Jimmy. There's no bull with him. If you're doing something wrong, he's going to tell you.
Yeah.
He's just the way he is. He's an
That
ex-Marine.
makes a great inspector.
Yes.
Yeah,
He's
very fair.
but he hasn't got that attitude of a know-it-all.
Right. Mhm.
He compliments and he'll learn, but at the same time, he knows what he knows. And you're wrong, you're wrong. If you're right, you're right. And so when you were coming, I'm like, here we go, because when I built my first tiny home, it was all from my building experience and my loads and things and stress points that I just learned. Of course, there was never any formal education with it, And then for you to come here, of course, we haven't talked about in detail how we do things here, and I've changed it up a few things too. But just the fact that we could build a building that big and not have what's the matter?
Look at his head. He's got his whole head. Yeah, he's tearing up. Look at him. He's got his whole head down in there.
Yeah.
Did you see that?
Kind of like me with a piece of pie.
Now you're talking.
There we go.
That's language
Yeah.
I understand.
Yep. Yeah, and saying that, just jump off. Jimmy raises bees.
That is right. Yeah, that's
He gave me a
exactly right.
whole gallon of honey,
Yes.
plus another a pint.
That
Quart.
was a 2-pounder.
A
Sell
two.
honey by the pound.
Okay. All right. Lord, that one felt like 40 pounds. The big one.
That big one.
12 pounds to the gallon. It's the heaviest liquid short of mercury.
Oh my gosh.
Heaviest liquid short of mercury. Wow. And then the other one was Tupelo honey. And I just learned from him Tupelo honey is really a special honey that you.
It's pretty much top of the line in the world.
Wow. Yeah, he gave me a 2-pounder, and and he raises bees. He's
And
got,
it was very smooth. Randy gave me a bite of it. It's very, very smooth.
yeah.
And the other one was sweeter.
Yes,
Yes.
the wildflower was.
But it was good too.
It was a mixture of pollens,
Mm-hmm.
but the Tupelo is a very mild honey.
Yeah.
A lot of people really like it.
Thick and
It's
smooth.
it's different,
Yeah.
but
Mhm.
it's so expensive because there's a less than a 2-week block that you can harvest it, and if the weather's bad,
Really?
you lose the harvest.
Terry just asked, she said, can I buy it online? Do you sell it?
Yeah.
Do you have a website?
No,
Well,
Just call
Terry,
us.
t-
We'll,
uh,
we'll hook you up with
tell
Jimmy.
Terry to send us an email.
Yeah, Terry, just send us an email. We'll hook you up with Jimmy.
Mm-hmm.
We'll hook you up with some honey.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Is it organic honey? Norma wants to know.
all right. All our bees stay out in the national forest, so they don't get around any
Oh my.
chemicals, no pesticides, no herbicides. That's for the Tupelo honey is from the Tupelo tree, which is native to the swamps on the river,
Oh my gosh.
and then the wildflower comes mainly it's gallberry, which looks like a wild blueberry, and there's 2 species of that.
Never heard that.
Now, he told me about the Tupelo, which I couldn't believe. It was only a 2-week window, and then it closed on a lot of people, didn't it? Or something.
This year, the Tupelo harvest was pretty much ruined for most people. It's less than a 2-week cycle, and about 3 days into the cycle, we had a storm roll through and it washed out all the blooms. So most people didn't
No.
make any Tupelo this year, and that's why it's so expensive.
So if
Wow.
anybody's interested, can they send the information to us? Can we connect you with them?
You're
Yeah.
going to get rid of all your rest here,
Okay,
buddy.
because people's wanting.
Yeah,
Cool.
yeah.
God,
good.
that's great.
Yeah.
That's our weekend job after I work all week.
Do you have any prices? I mean, they're what
Oh
we're
my
talking about
God,
honey now,
really?
Yeah. Different sizes and jars of honey and what prices?
Wildflower we sell locally for $4 a pound.
Mm-hmm.
The Tupelo sells for $8 a pound, which is about half of what market sells for retail.
Wow.
I've seen Tupelo as high as $54 for a 2-pound jar.
No.
Yeah, serious.
Wow. Now, what was that one berry you called it?
Gallberry looks like a wild blueberry, and there's 2 species. One is a high bush, one is a low bush, and it's a lot more abundant because it lasts 60 to 80 days
Really?
between the 2 of them, so you get a nice long duration that the bees can stay in that location, and it's just native to, you see 'em mainly out in the Apalachicola National Forest.
Mhm.
Looks like little blueberry plants.
Oh my goodness.
Jimmy took me years ago. I was down at his place, and he had a catamaran. And
Oh God.
he had a big boat and everything, and I always wanted to be on a sailboat. So he took Foster and I out on his catamaran.
Oh gosh.
It just, I couldn't tell you what it did.
That
Being
was a
out there,
fast cat.
oh, it was fast. We were on that trampoline thing.
Yeah.
He was kicking it, man, across that. Where were we at doing that?
That was out from St. George Island.
St. George Island.
Okay.
And I'd never been on one, and I fell in love with sailing that day right there. Yeah, that
Wow.
was just amazing.
It's also the nature coast, no condos.
Really?
You've got you've got probably almost 100 miles of coastline that's pretty well undeveloped. It's most of
Wow.
it's coastal swamp and hardwood forest.
Not gonna be developed?
No, it's all national forest
All
or
national forest.
national refuge.
Beautiful.
Yeah, Yeah. So, yeah, he's got a lot of talent. You still got your big boat?
The big one that was in the
Big
backyard
motorboat?
to rehab.
Yep.
Yeah, that's been, the bees have been keeping us too busy.
Yeah. He had a big boat he was doing. So Jimmy's got a
I
lot
had a
of
big
talent.
sailboat, but you never saw that.
No, never did. He
Yeah.
rebuilds. He got a Jeep, a '95.
No, I got two 1990s, and
Oh,
I had
wow.
a 1975. We sold the 75. One of the 90s is in a shipping container for storage, keep the rats out of it,
Yeah,
and then the one we drag behind the motorhome.
got it.
My goodness.
He rebuilds motors. He's an inspector. He raises bees. He sells boats. I mean,
Jeez.
yeah, he's super talented. So,
So
don't-
does the inspecting, is that going to bleed over into our homes at all, or?
well,
can he-
Amanda, that's where our next
Well, I
story's
didn't know
going
where
into.
We were going with this.
We're trying to lead this into it. Well, what Jimmy was looking at, and we're thinking, is I told him, we want to build these all over the United States, right?
Yeah.
He's so accustomed to codes, restrictions, zoning, and everything. I mean, I'm talking national, international, and across the United States. His license is across the states, right?
It's an international
It's
license, but I also have the Florida licenses.
Wow.
The Florida requires you to test under the International Code Council, and you can either keep that license and keep it renewed, or you can just keep your Florida license and that's your Florida license.
I got you.
But it's tested off the international code books.
Wow. And
Florida's just tough.
it is.
It is
oh,
what
yeah.
it is.
With the
Wow.
hurricanes and everything. Yeah. And we were talking, and I've always wanted a community in Florida.
Mm-hmm.
And so we're looking into seeing what we can do down there and helping that process go through. And he was actually saying, I don't know why, we can't have these tiny homes in Florida,
Right.
where we're thinking, we've heard it's really not allowed. And I mean, this is a master inspector.
And a lot of people a lot of our customers tell us that they get told no all the time.
Yeah,
Okay,
Mm-hmm.
all right. I'm going to get down in the dirt with you.
that's what they want to hear. They want to
Yeah.
hear the stuff.
You have three options in Florida. You can have a HUD, which is a mobile home. You can have a site-built home that is to the Florida Building Code, or you can have a modular home, which is sometimes it's just the mobile home that they put a different sticker on, but it's built according to the Florida Code, and it has to be inspected by Florida inspectors, and it has to be the plan review done by either a modular plans examiner or a Florida plans examiner that has all the disciplines, and you can do the plans, and it has to meet Florida code. Now, there is some exceptions now that has been put in the Florida code for tiny homes, but a tiny home doesn't really have to be that big to actually be a Florida code compliant. It's a paperwork document process that has to be followed, and you could bring something in from wherever. As a building official for a county, I've had modular buildings that come in that were built in Texas, certified through Florida, and there were now a bank building that was a modular. So
Yeah.
there's a path. It's not impossible. You have to follow protocol.
Well, now I have
Man.
a question about with the inspections that you, an inspector of the state, would do. What about this with ANSI and RVIA and NOAA and all those? Are those on top of what they do, or is it how does all that work?
What do you want to do with it? That's the end
Live
product.
in it permanently, like
No.
or-
But do you want it to go to see, what you're doing right now, you can currently take to an RV park.
okay.
You can take to probably a lot of other places, but most communities in Florida will not allow someone to live in an RV on a piece of property
Oh,
unless it's zoned for RVs.
Right. Okay.
There's the problem.
So even though if you had 5 acres, you
Mhm.
can't live in an RV.
I could have 100 acres
100
and can't
right.
live in RV in most jurisdictions. There are a very few, and after some of the hurricanes, there's some people living in them while their house is getting rebuilt.
Right.
But it's just a process. In Florida, as a general rule, it's either a mobile home, it's a site-built home according to the Florida laws and rules, or it's a modular home that is built according to Florida laws and rules. Take your
Okay.
pick.
Yeah.
So where do you see our tiny homes falling in that? If
Right.
you had 5 acres, 100 acre, man.
Okay, it's back on right now. Right one was right
Oh,
at
I know it.
What a cliffhanger.
All right. Well, the question was, is that if we had 5 acres in Florida and you can't live on it, how can we get a tiny home on it? We have a lot of people calling from Florida.
We do.
It has to be certified through the Florida Plan Review and the Florida Home Modular Home Program, inspected and plan review done. There is a path that it can be done. So it's not that you can't do it. It just, you have to follow the protocol. Florida is tough.
Somebody just said that they said Florida is tough.
And you, of course, know that protocol.
Yes.
Interesting.
Yes, it's
Yeah.
very interesting, and
Mm-hmm.
I'm excited about it because
Absolutely.
Florida's, I used to live there and know a lot about it. You being there, there's a lot of good land, a lot of good things, and the way we build homes, I think would so fit that area,
Absolutely.
big time. And so Jimmy and I,
Well, as I'm getting older, I don't need a big house. I just need a really big garage for the toys.
There you go. That's right.
yeah,
Mhm.
yep. So I'm hoping, as Jimmy's here, we're going to talk more about what do we need to do to get that happening down there, and him
Mhm.
being in, he's in the system. He knows everything about everything. He can look at our prints, okay, our systems,
Oh, that's
everything that we
great.
do or design all over the country. Develop these communities in backyards, like I know in California, and
Well, if the communities want to accept modular, uh, like RVs, what your certifications are, or your HUD certification, then that's just a local question that they need to get with their commissioners. And there's a lot of people don't want McMansions, especially in today's economy and
Yeah.
uncertainty of this world.
Mhm.
So Tallahassee actually has a tiny home community that was built for the homeless to help get people off the street.
yeah. Well, what I'm finding is I went into Oregon, and I called this certain county. Somebody wanted to know if we could put a tiny home there. I mean, the phone call was resistant.
Mhm.
So I'm like, you know what? I need to come in there somewhat packing, knowing my rights, what I've got, what I can do, and not let an inspector
You need to research
muscle it.
what their regulations are first.
Got it.
It's like you can argue with an inspector, but just
Yeah.
be knowledgeable when you're going
That's
to argue.
Right.
Exactly.
Exactly.
And sometimes them guys, what I've found is they'll argue with you and they have no basis for it. They won't stand on the codes or the
Well, that's just
the
like
law.
it just pick your battles, but know your subject material before you start the debate.
Yes, exactly.
And you should educate yourself before you ever walk in the office.
Yeah.
Because quite often with government, you have sometimes employees that they're not wanting to help people. They just don't know. You have high turnover rates. A lot of these people are in government offices, planning, zoning. Maybe they've only been there 6 months and they don't even know what these volumes of county ordinances actually contain.
Right.
It takes time on the job to learn those things.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So,
Right.
sometimes the answer isn't no, they just don't know.
They don't know. Right.
Got it. Got
Okay.
it. All right.
Good.
Now we got, and I'm going to shift gears just a minute
Okay.
because John is behind you. And guys, you all know John. John is the one who hauled the house out to California for us. He does everything. He's an electrician. He's a hauler. He's a strapper downer and everything. And that's what we're going to do tonight is I'm going to show you this thing here. So John has, we can strap all these houses down in the community, right? And you've put together a package for everybody, right?
Yes.
Already?
Yes.
All right. And he's offered, so these are the augers that he uses
Yes.
to strap the houses down. So if you want your house strapped down, what was it that you come up with here? What was your
Well,
package?
normally when I haul one across the country and do it, I normally do on a house that requires 4 of them.
Mhm.
We do about $410.
$410.
Yeah, and that's for the anchors. There's like a little shovel piece that's about 10 inches
Yep.
that goes
Piece of
down.
steel. Yep.
And then you got the straps and the bolts, and we hammer them in, do all the labor, and get it strapped down.
$410. You got
Right.
4 of them anchored down.
Right.
All right.
And being we're already here,
Yep.
and we're not having to carry them and all that, and there's so many that have to be done, being that's part of the ANSI requirements.
Yep.
We were going to do 210 in the community for anyone here.
So
For half price.
$210 to
Yeah.
put these in on every lot. Yep.
Right.
Now, what I want to show you guys is how this works. He's got his big drill, and this head on his drill, he bought it, but then it didn't fit, so he had to fabricate it.
Right.
So he had to bust
Yeah,
it and
it's
weld
a
it.
little
and-
ugly at the moment. We'll get it fixed up a little
Okay.
prettier, but
So you're gonna demonstrate.
See, this is what we got here, everybody. That's what I'm telling you. He bought that, it didn't work. He made it work, right? Just like Jimmy. Jimmy works on Jeeps, his motor home. He bought a motor home for $19,000, 30 foot long, and it's immaculate. And he had to work on a few things, and it's perfect now. So
Awesome.
all these guys around here are just, yeah, it's just what the environment that we have here is to get things done. You know. So I want you to show everybody how this works.
Pick your spot.
All right, so let's say we're gonna, all right, look over here, everybody. This is a home site, right? The way we put this infrastructure in over here is inside here is your utilities. All right, I'll come up closer to you. These are the utilities. So the house will sit over top of this utilities like we've always talked about, right? There's your sewer, there's your water, yep, and all that. So what we're gonna do is when you park over top of it, we're gonna get up underneath there and hook everything up underneath so you don't have like an RV like we've got over there, everything's strung out to where you got to step over it and weed eat over it, okay?
Oh, good question. Really quick. Brenda's asking, can that be done at the beach on the concrete?
I have.
Ask that question, Randy, so they'll hear.
The question was, can this be done on concrete at the
At the
beach?
beach.
I have a different anchor that we drill into the concrete and plant. It's the same basic principle. Those I have to look at what my price was, but
Okay.
those will be done at a discounted package for the
Yeah,
beach as well.
he said yes, he can do it at a discounted, whatever. You got to find out how much they cost.
Yeah.
So I want to show you guys how this works. And him and Jimmy were talking. I didn't know it, but if the house was here, I don't want to. You can tell them. They're tired of hearing me talk. How's this work? If you're going to strap it down,
Well, what you'll do is put it at an angle.
all right?
And then basically, like I say, it has that shovel piece that you'll put in at the very bottom.
Yep.
And when you go to strap it, you strap it to the opposite side of the house.
So they crisscross
And-
underneath.
And it pulls it up against that, and that keeps it from bending because you got so many feet down in the ground,
I got
and
it.
then you're fighting that metal plate,
Got it.
and that keeps it from
See,
moving.
there's a metal plate that will ride underneath here, and it goes down. So it's actually right across here, and that fits over top of that metal plate, and it pushes against it.
And this goes all the way down until it's on the ground. That goes flat with the ground.
Now those strapping, do they go like that?
Well, you'll put it at whatever angle. Like if you do the strap at a little bit of an angle, you'd put it at it. You'll put a bolt in here, and there's a slit where the strap will go through. You tighten it up, and then that gets the band tight, and then you'll tighten the nut on this side so it don't move anymore.
Got it. Wow. All right, show us how you do that. We're going to put it in the ground just a little bit. We don't want to drive it completely. Yep. We don't want to get too deep. There you go. Wow.
Good, great.
Can you imagine that going all the way down? We don't want to go too far because we can't pull it up.
Now, somebody just asked, Brenda just asked, is that hurricane straps? Is that
Brenda
what you're
just
thinking
asked if
about?
that's hurricane strap.
It's one rated for a mobile home, basically. It's the actual strapping for.
Hurricane straps, but it's just the angle, right?
Right. Generally, a hurricane straps are your strappings on like the studs in the wall.
In the construction part
Yes,
of it.
yes.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yep.
that's good to
And this is what holds it up if you're going to be in a hurricane. You know, the only
Right.
thing is let's say we're over there at Jimmy's house and he's got it strapped down, but he wants to haul that sucker out of here. You can unbolt it pretty easy.
They'll be low enough you could roll over them. So all you do is just cut the strap and then unbolt the bolt.
Cut it and go.
So
Now, what about people who are traveling with their home? Will be moving it a lot. What would they do?
they make a smaller anchor depending on the size home. It's about a 2,000 pound rated anchor, and you can put it in with a little impact, and it only goes about 20 inches in the ground, but it's kind of
It's-
designed for sheds.
Yeah,
So like on
a heavy wind, it'll hold
like
it.
a 18 or 16 foot RJO,
Yeah.
it'd be great if you're going to haul with it.
Oh, there you go.
And you could actually back it back out with the impact and pull it all the way back out.
Nice,
Oh, okay.
nice. Isn't that cool?
Good. So again, just that it's an anchor.
What?
What would it be called? Is it just an anchoring for mobile homes, or?
Pretty much, yes.
Mhm.
So he's offering this for $210 a house.
But it's just
Excuse me.
4 spikes, though, right?
Right. If it's a bigger house, it requires more spikes. It'll be a little bit
A
of
little
a
bit
price
more.
difference.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think up to 24 foot, you'd use 4.
Right.
Okay.
Isn't that cool?
Yeah, that's good.
Awesome. So I just wanted to show, and what we're going to do tonight is we're going to walk down here, the community. We have some people walking already. And I want to show you what we've accomplished, what's going on. As you guys can see, that's the underlayment. And I know, John, you got to go home, buddy. Thank you, man.
All good. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you, John.
John stayed after. He's worked all day. He's
Yeah.
helping us with our electrical. And he stayed after to show you guys this auger system. So
Awesome.
thanks, buddy.
And tell your company one more time. We never get it right because I complain it's too long. I get mad.
Well, you could just say Harrison Logistics if you want. We put the equipment sales on there because we sell occasionally pieces of equipment, but mostly we either haul tiny houses or cargo boxes. Or
So you haul, if anybody needs any haul, and not just tiny houses, you haul all kinds of stuff.
He hauls everything.
currently up to 13,000 pounds. So
Wow.
Yeah, he
So
hauls.
johnhalls.com.
yes.
I'll go with that one.
JohnHalls.com?
Johnhalls, HAULS.com.
I'll be darned.
Yeah.
Okay. I thought it was Harrison Logistics.
Well, it is,
Well,
but-
it is, but the website's johnhalls.com.
Johnhalls.com.
Got it. 10-4.
Yeah.
Look, they're chickening out. You can come on through here. We won't put you on camera.
We always put people on camera.
Well, of course I will.
Thank you, John.
Thank y'all. We'll see you in the morning.
All right, buddy. See you, man. So, Jimmy, you can walk with us, or if you need to go home.
We'll go check on the distance.
All right,
Okay.
buddy. I'll see you.
Thank you, Jimmy.
This Ukrainian lady. See right here, this is our underlayment that we put. I guess I don't need to hold this anymore. And
What is that called?
it's a geotextile underlayment. And so if you have any poor soil under, around, you could put this on top of it, on top of the soil, and then you put your gravel on top of this, and then you can mash it down.
Okay.
And it keeps it from kind of rutting out. And
So that never is replaced or nothing. That's it.
the theory behind it is, and I've got a couple buddies, you've got Jimmy that was here. I've got a great friend of mine who's a civil engineer we went to college with. He's the one that pushed me on this stuff. They actually build on landfills with this stuff.
Okay.
So they can put this over an unstable base or soil and put your gravel on there, and it won't rut out when you got your cars and all that. We'll see. I've never used it before. I've researched it. Of course, I got friends who've been telling me about it who've used it for years.
Okay.
Actually, Amanda, we were over there at the Treehouse place in North Carolina,
Right.
and this guy had a wall that was at least 30 feet tall,
Mm-hmm.
and it was full of fill. It was a
Wow.
30-foot tall fill wall, right? And he all he did was put decorative like concrete in front,
Right.
but it wasn't what packed the soil.
Right.
They put every 12 inches, they put that fiber.
Wow.
So they had 12 inches of dirt, fiber, 12 inches of dirt, fiber, and went up 30 feet.
And stops weeds from growing under it, I'm sure.
Yeah, that
Nothing's-
will. Yep.
Nothing's gonna grow. under
But at the
that.
same time, what happens is they're building 8 multi-million-dollar homes on that fill.
Wow.
And they created that land with that geotech fiber. I wanted to show kind of the progress. Think we can walk maybe? See, lose signal. As you guys can see, the gravel's all the way down now. We put the fiber mix. You can see we're spreading it out here inside where the people, where your homes will be, where you'll be parking. I had a lady call up and said, hey, your lot's too short and ain't no way my house is gonna fit. Well, her house is 28 feet long. It'll fit because these lots are well than 50 foot wide. They're 60 feet deep. And I'm not going to cut a 40-foot swath through every single one of these because not everybody's going to have that size of home.
Right.
If there's a problem and you need a couple trees cut, we're going to get you in there, all right? If you pay for a setup fee, we'll get you in here. That's what we're going to do. Now, if you need more gravel and you want to connect your two lots together, let's say you want to connect the gravel together and that's up to you to do. You're going to pay for that yourself.
Right.
We're putting a place for your parking and for your home to park.
Right, correct. And a lot of people will want to put their own decorative, like little stones that they walk on.
Oh
those
yeah,
kinds of
I
things.
hope it all turns into that, man.
It looks really pretty.
So look here, this is an example of a lot, right? So this is a home. You can see how the utilities are underneath the house. It's so cool. So the gravel, they got the fiber down, the gravel will be poured in here. The house will be parked over top of the utilities. Over here is just your meter.
Yeah.
You don't have any sewer lines, power lines, water
Nothing to
lines,
deal with.
nothing. You're not gonna have any pipes freeze. Water hose that has a heater on it. You don't have to be stepping over it. It costs a lot of money to do this,
It costs a lot.
but it's something that will last
Forever.
forever.
Yeah.
Then you park over here, okay? So this is where you're gonna park. So I can hear Luann, she's got here and she got all her groceries. Walk around over to your house or you can walk through these weeds, okay? I'm not gonna cut these weeds for you.
People, they'll do their own.
Yeah. So I'm saying, I give you a space to park and a space for your house, all right? So you guys, but what's cool is you can build a deck over there, all right? You can build a deck, you can build a walk, you can do whatever you
can
like
do
to do.
whatever, yeah.
And I'm coming up with a fencing that everybody can use if you want a fencing. And it's
Okay.
just, we can make it look really nice in there if you want any kind of fencing. Yep.
God, everybody's excited. Literally, just before we, let me get up there closer to you.
Yeah.
But you talked to Yump, and you said 2 weeks, and he said he can get this done in
I
2
want
weeks.
it done. Yep, I went and got all, we ran out of geotech today and I went and got some. I mean, we're rolling and going. And I got, John has been here all last week, all this week. We're putting extra guys on it tomorrow to help in so all these electrical panels,
Yeah.
they all have to have certain fittings on them. They're on there. They gotta be dealt with, all right? A little tweaking.
And I want to mention something. Do you see these little signs? Like that. Okay, Will and Becky
Yeah,
Bree, they're here. They're going in the resort. They're building a couple of homes here. Will works for
Yep.
us at the office and stuff. Him and his wife, they made these and
Yep.
they put them all through the whole forest.
yeah, they went and put all these up. for
Like
us.
74, whatever it is.
Yeah.
They did that.
And he
their
wrote on
own.
there, he got the sticks, he cut them, he put them on there, and that way we've been able to mark them so you guys can
Yeah.
see these lots.
Because once they watched us go through, we got lost. We kind of got lost with where we were going. They said, "Hey, we're gonna make some of those, make
Yeah.
it easier."
Will's been a great
Oh.
contribution to what we're doing here.
So great.
Yep. We even have homeowners now that are here.
Yeah.
They're going to get ready to come in here and they're offering, what can I do to help?
Yeah.
Is there, can I sweep? Can I dig something for you guys? We want to participate. They said, you know what? We want you to succeed. We don't
Yes.
want you to fail. We want to make
No.
sure this happens.
Yeah.
You know? That's just cool.
And everybody, and it's so exciting because within the next 2 weeks, it's like everybody's ready. It's almost like the girls in the office. All of us are ready, and like, let's all do
Let's
it.
get it done.
We're all wanting it
We're going
to
to put more guys out here tomorrow and try to get this over with. It's just a lot. You think 72 home sites, and then we got 36 we'll be jumping on the beach to try to get that done as soon as we
Yeah.
can, you know? I even had the state electrical inspector. He called me after hours. I sent him a text. He's just been really good to work with, you know?
And this is great.
So this is the gravel tomorrow. We got all this,
And
all
this
this
is Jack Pine.
Jack Pine,
Jack Pine.
tamaracks over there.
Yeah.
Yep. And
So how much is done? Is all of Jack
well, you
Pine
can,
done?
No, you can see it stops right
Okay,
there.
I
So
see.
tomorrow they'll be putting all the gravel in all these lots. Will probably, hopefully, be done with Jack Pine tomorrow.
Mm-hmm.
And then they got the second phase.
Mm-hmm.
It's got part of it done. What I like about over there at the very, let's see, 61 through 68 will be done. plus the 4 over here will be done, and the other 4. So we're going to
So
have.
we can put those, go ahead and put them in.
We're getting electrical inspection on them. We called it in today.
Mhm.
If we get the electrical inspection in the roads, we could actually have people sitting on there next week.
Oh my God, that'd be great.
I know Barbara could get over there. Lynn, the
Yeah,
Mad Hatter
Mad Hatter can
could go over there. There's
Mhm.
there's like 4 homes I know of that can go over in those
Right.
lots.
Mhm.
So we're on it, everybody. You know, there was some. I'm not the kind of guy that listens to stuff, but there was just been a lot of chatter. Why it's taken so long to get all this done, and I know what happens is that in this world of not trusting people, what we do I know is rare, because you trust us.
Right.
And when something takes too long, or you're antsy, or you get things happen in your life, and people start just lashing out, and they start wanting to say and do things that just are not nice, you know
Right.
what? And sometimes it's hard to, just get over that. But you know what? I swear, it's been a great learning experience for me, because it has tempered me about people's opinions and how to deal with that. And you know what I've focused on doing? And I know, man, to both of us, it's been a challenge, man. But I'm going to tell you what. We have both learned to look at the bigger picture, at what's really going on. Amanda will encourage me, and I'll encourage her, and we keep moving on. And I told her, I said, Amanda, these few folks that are not having, they're not being able to see the vision that we have,
Right.
And they're wanting to band together, and they're not wanting to do nice things. It's
Right.
like, you know what? We're going to kill them with success. We're going to kill them by keep going on and keep pressing on and
Moving
keep
on.
doing on. I don't want to focus on that, but that's
No.
been a big part of really why, if you see any kind of raw mood, that's the reason, But in the last couple weeks, in the last month, man, it's just been a thing. You know what, man, we got to move on. We can't stop. And no better. And I've always thought this was really cool, these tiny homes. The investment in these tiny homes are really not that large, right? They're not like buying a $500,000 home
Right.
or $1 million home,
Mhm.
right? So it really takes down the fear factor. We build $1 million home, that could devastate you, a builder, anything could go wrong. It's a massive mess. These are smaller, and it's really easier to control, and that's what I like about
Right.
them,
Yep,
So
I agree.
all right. What you got? Anything?
Are we walking more? Are we going to go to Tamarack? Or is there
We
there
can,
any on Tamarack?
Hey, let's walk. I think there's a little path
I
we
think
could
it's
walk
right up
through.
here. I was going to ask that. That's a
All
good
right.
idea.
Yeah, we could walk through there.
Can you give an idea? Because me and Alyssa, listen, we get schooled on this stuff all the time, and Amber as well. But we keep seeing dump truck after dump truck. Can you tell how many loads of gravel, how many trucks of gravel, what do they hold, and how many trucks will be coming on here? Because we've been counting them. We're like, how many trucks is it going to take of gravel?
I know she had 54, and there were probably 30 before that, and it's $500 a piece.
Yeah, we were totaling it up and passing out in the office like
We're over budget.
I was having to pick Alyssa up off the floor, basically. Yeah, $500 a truck. So when we see a dump truck, me and Alyssa ain't too happy.
Yeah. So don't tell me nothing's going on.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. And everybody think about this. I don't have a line of credit.
Yeah.
I don't have a bank to go to get any money, right? I'm using your deposit money to do this.
Yeah.
If I go over, I got to
on
build
us.
more homes, and I got to run a tight ship over there
Yeah.
to nurse this along, right?
Yeah.
And that's what we're doing. We are running a tight ship. You wouldn't believe. Having Will here to tighten everything up,
Yeah.
Tom here to tighten up, everybody. I just want to say those two guys. It's everybody. And
Everybody.
it's hard to name everybody. I don't want to leave anybody out.
It is, yeah.
But I don't have, I always told everybody, if I had money in the bank, I will be the first one to just say, boom, there's my checking account.
Yeah.
There's our statements of showing what we
Yeah.
have. So I'm just like you guys. The only thing is I was able to put this together. Yep.
And also, I'm glad Carrie brought this up because we actually didn't know who sent this, but Carrie sent your flashlights. She wanted to know if you got it.
Oh, she did.
Yeah.
Yeah. I looked at that and I said, wow, look at somebody sent me a flashlight.
Mhm.
Thank you so much, Carrie.
Yeah, that's
Uh,
very nice.
I was like, God, it just always amazes me. You know, I don't get a lot of stuff, but it always amazes me when somebody sends a gift like that.
Mhm.
You know, because actually, in the house that I'm in,
Yeah.
there's no light. You pull up, it's dark.
Yeah.
And I thought, man, I need to bring me a flashlight over here. So thank you.
And two, I want to mention Mary Carter, Brian and Mary Carty. Mary's on here. Said,
Yeah.
thank you, Randy, for showing us the progress. Said, please don't worry about much. It doesn't help anything because you just move on.
Got to.
Yeah, you have to.
Yeah.
Yep.
Thank you. Thank you. Yep. Well, you know what? The two biggest things is pleasing everybody, and then the money. We're trying to keep. We got to make money. We got to
Yeah.
pay the bills, and it can be pretty stressful.
Very.
Yep. But there was a lot of extras in here that we had to do. Like, see this ditch right here?
Yes.
All right, this ditch, this whole land is flat. So when it rains, it has to get out of here or it'll pool up.
Right.
So we've had to actually dig ditches and put culverts under the ground where you guys will never know to get this water rolling out
Yeah.
towards the back and down to the river.
I'm telling you, you have to know what you're doing whenever you're doing this. This isn't just people, you know, and this is not to discard anybody from a dream or anything, but people are like, let's buy a piece of land and let's put tiny houses on it. It's like if you really understood what it takes to do that and the amount of money and the amount of time and the amount of effort and the amount of the inspectors and the things you have to, the hoops you have to jump through.
Yeah.
Believe me, you'd never even think, you'd say, forget it. There's so much. There's stuff that we didn't know beforehand.
Yeah. The thing I did in the city utilities before.
Yes.
So that was new for me, developing land and all this stuff. And you
Mhm.
know what? I'd never developed flat land.
Yes.
I've always developed the hardest land to build on, I thought was mountain land. And we have. Flat land, Lord, we had to, in the trees, in the woods, it was a challenge here for everybody. Even the
Very.
city had a challenge with the sewer.
It was so new. So many
This-
things was new to
This
them.
whole thing has been
Yes.
off the charts.
Wow.
Yeah, there was somebody that said, I want to buy some land, I want 5 or 6 tiny homes. And I said, well, do you have sewer? Well, we got city water and power. I said, do you have sewer?
Yes.
No. I said, you're limited.
Yeah.
You're limited. You can only have 1 per acre, 2 per acre, maybe 4 per acre at max.
You don't realize.
That's it.
Yeah.
And then you got to put the system in. Then
Yep.
but you got to allow for roads and driveways, infrastructure. You got to have picnic areas or hiking or whatever you're going to do. That all that stuff impedes on your doing. Now let me show you another thing. See how we've taken this and we've cut this down, right?
Yeah.
All right. In doing this, I didn't want to cut it down.
Mm-hmm.
All right, because this costs money. So what we had to do is we had to come in here and fill and cut and fill and cut and fill and get the final grade you want.
Right.
Then after you got what you want, now you got to come in here and cut down all the dirt where the gravel's going to go. And you know why? Is so that gravel is at the same height as the dirt.
Mm.
Because if you didn't, what you'd do is you'd have your gravel about 8 inches taller
Yeah.
than the ground. Well, it just costs money, man. So every single lot, and he does it really quick, but every single lot's got to be cut, fabric put in,
Wow.
gravel put in. So while they're putting the gravel in over there, Yump's over here cutting all these out of here, putting them in. But he had to get this final grade. You can see it. See how pretty it is?
Oh yeah.
So he'll take all that dirt out of there, right? And we were using that dirt in other areas of the property. That's all money, man. That truck goes 150 bucks an hour. You got a dump truck's another 50 bucks an hour. He's got laborers. You're looking at $400 or $500 an hour. At the end of the week, we're looking at usually I average about 10 to 15 grand a week.
Wow.
Plus all the materials that we're putting on. We paid $27,000 for pipe, $17,000 for manhole covers or manholes we got.
Are you gonna after all this is said and done, are you gonna be able to give us a total on what we were over budget?
Probably. Yeah, I'm sure I will. I kept
Yeah.
track of it.
Wow.
Yeah. We had $200,000 just in the sewer.
Yeah. I just want to. I think we said this in another show, but I can't remember if she cared if I said or not. But I won't say her name unless she wants to say it on here. But she sent a text today saying that she was going to pay the extra $2,000 on her lot in the prairie.
Aw.
Said she was doing it and said that's just. I just couldn't even believe it because I mean, the prices went up. I don't know if you want to explain that again.
Yeah, well, when we did this, like all this electrical here, all right,
Mhm.
this is the main feed for the electrical, and they're going to
Yeah.
put a transformer here. Well, I bought all the pipe and everything that goes in the ground, but all the cable that goes up, there's going to be cable everywhere running main feeds. There's a
Mhm.
transformer and all that stuff that goes in.
Right.
All right, what we figured, well, the electric company used to, is you'd give it a deposit,
Mm-hmm.
and that's all you had to pay.
Right.
So 70 some lots would have been about but right now it's about 150,000 bucks
Mhm.
if you had to pay for all the fittings.
Yeah.
Well, they charged me about $8,000.
Yeah.
That's all I had to pay.
Wow. Thank goodness.
All right, but not anymore
Mm-hmm.
because the local utility department. I have no idea what happened, but money is an issue with them. I don't know what happened in their business
It
because
was due to COVID, wasn't it, or was it
I don't
not?
know. I don't know what it was,
Okay.
but no other utility company that I know of does this. But now I have to pay everything up front, and it averages $2,000 per lot.
Mhm.
So just the prairie is going to be $100,000
Yeah.
for electric.
Mhm.
I've already got the sewer. All right, the pipe, the manholes. We paid that. That's what was it, 27, 37, $50,000 just for the pipe.
Mhm.
All right, in the sewers. Now we got to dig them, put gravel in them, make it work. Now it's all going to fit, and we don't have to have another pump. It'll gravity feed to the one we got behind the company. You know, you got to. She had a mosquito on her forehead, and but that's got to be put in. You know, and then the gravel and geotech fiber's got to be over in the prairie. So anyway, and you still got to remove concrete in the beach.
That's when we stop thinking, and it's like, just go back to work.
Everybody,
You just go back to work.
this is why
Yeah.
the financing couldn't have come in at a better time.
Yeah.
We have to build more homes.
Mm-hmm.
I've been planning this because I knew what was happening. All right, I
Right.
knew it was coming on. That's why I started the partnerships. I knew we would get financing. We don't do anything wrong. It was just hurdles.
Yes.
Everything we turned around was a stop, right?
Right.
But in a way, I knew we were getting stopped, but I knew it was a good timing for us because
Mhm.
we weren't ready for the financing,
Right.
right?
Mhm.
I didn't have the partnerships in. We would have been bombarded with too much work.
Right.
Like if we would have taken in the 200 applications that came in about a year ago,
Mhm.
we wouldn't have been able to do
We
it.
wouldn't have been ready.
We have been training partnerships for the last 4 months or more, and we got guys waiting for work.
Yes.
They are ready to go, and now it's us catching up with the organization of getting it done. We were behind on blueprints, hired another designer. So we got, let's see, Alicia, Tom, Alec, Kim, and Marianne. Marianne will be a drawer. Marianne's helping with the liaison between the customer and the designer, so the designers don't have to waste time talking to the customer. So Marianne is doing all that in between, and we're trying to form out a more streamlined way of getting your information. So I'll say this now, I didn't mean to get off on that part of it, but we're trying to get our sales staff. We need more information from you all when you buy your house. I know you want to go to design, and we used to just spend gobs of hours. I'm talking 30, 40 hours talking to a customer designing a home. And we can't do that. We cannot afford to do it. We don't have the time to do it. And if something like that happens, I don't know, we're gonna have to I hate to charge for something like that,
Mhm.
but we have to streamline it. So what I'm asking everybody is when you're getting a tiny home, please do as much research as you can. Find out what you really, really want. A designer just gives you what you want, all right? That's why I do all these videos. We go through all these homes. We show you so many things so you know how to do your homework. Plus, there's so much information on the internet now with other competitors, so much about tiny homes. Do your research, get it done. It's gonna help our company save money and get your house done quicker. We have got blueprints now that people still have not made up their mind. And you know what?
Until
We can't
we
build
move
their
on-
house.
Yeah, we'll be moving on to another house. if you can't
Can't build their house.
decided.
I mean, we got guys ready to build.
Yeah.
I mean, building, they're finishing up, and like we don't have a blueprint for them because people are not making up their mind.
Mhm.
We got to get done. So
Right.
if you guys want your home, we'll have to pass you up
Mhm.
and go to the next one until you're ready. So to alleviate that in the future, and this is all growing, right? You guys are learning, we're all learning. We need to be able to just know what you want. So if you built a house in a subdivision, you build it. You don't
Mhm.
stop in the middle of it and add addition on the back of it or add 4 windows on it when it's already framed in, got siding on it. That's happening. and we have to do a change order,
Yeah.
or even in the middle
Well,
of
now
it.
change orders, we've stopped change orders.
Don't do them.
Yeah, we've stopped them.
I don't even want to charge you money like a
No.
$2,000 change order fee. I don't even want to do that.
And we've had a couple of people pay it.
Yep.
It was like a $2,500
That's
change order,
crazy.
and they paid it, and it's like, I don't know.
I don't want to do it. So once you're done, you're done. So we can get you done. Because you know what's happening is your house is being built, maybe not here,
Mm-hmm.
and we got a house being built somewhere else. And the matter of that change order and materials, it holds the money up, it holds everything up.
Have to be for just that change order.
Revised.
The designer has to go back and do that on their thing, get it approved. You sign it off, and all that holds us up.
Exactly.
Every bit of it, because you can't just do a change order. That's it. They have to look. The customer has to look at that print
Yeah.
and say, okay, well, I approve that.
Yep.
One of the things I want to say, a couple of things. James Clemens on here. He's one of our customers. He
This
said
James.
the geofiber, the gravel. He said, and the financing. He said, congratulations. He said that stuff's great, and congratulations on the financing coming through.
Thank you.
Another thing I want to mention about the financing. Alyssa and I are working on it. We've had 3 customers. There's if you haven't applied yet, when you apply and you get an approval, that's
Okay.
not the final thing.
Okay.
You will get an updated approval once you meet all the requirements. It's called clearing your conditions.
Okay.
So they'll have all these things. They'll have a whole thing of when you get your approval, you get a whole list of what you have to turn in to them.
Okay.
Once you turn in all of your conditions that they require, then it comes to us.
Right.
Then we have conditions we have to turn into them. Then it goes to once we turn in everything that we do, then there comes a request for the contract. You all sign it, and then it's a go. That's when you find
Then
out
it's
about
a
your
go.
payment.
So there's 3 steps involved before it's a complete ready to go.
3 or 4. I mean, there's some things that
the initial one to get accepted.
approval.
Approval.
Yeah, and then it comes to us, and we have to.
Well, they got to get their
they get their updated approval. is what
okay.
it's
So
called.
approval, updated approval,
Yeah.
our information
Yes.
that they need.
Mm-hmm.
Then it goes to
Then
them
we
and
can request a contract.
request a contract.
Yes.
Gotcha.
Then after that, requesting a contract, that's whenever it has to be a notary signs it. There's all kinds of things, and that finishes it. We've got 60 days to do that, to clear the conditions and get that done, but we want to do it as fast as possible. We have 3 customers that have already done their part
Got
of
it.
what they're doing. So now they are waiting. We just turned in those 3 customers. That have the updated approval. They know who they are. Maybe 4. We may have more than that, but we sent their the contract that we do
Mm-hmm.
and our
Yeah.
estimate sheet to 21st Mortgage. They look at that, then they tell us, okay, we can request a contract now.
Got it. Okay.
So we've
okay.
got those. We're on them.
And see, that's created almost another job for us.
Yeah, and Gloria, I'm glad Gloria brought this up. And at that point, you know, the sooner we can get this paperwork done, the better, because you get that 60 days plus.
Yeah.
They are going to add on an extension of 180 days. So there's going to be 240 days that you will not have to, you know, before you expired out of your loan and you had to reapply.
Yeah.
So you're going to get 240 days
Nice.
to complete the home.
Nice.
Yeah.
And our job is to get that house to you ASAP.
Yeah, exactly.
Yep.
Yeah.
And so, everybody, we've been waiting on this financing, of course, you guys know, for so long.
Mm-hmm.
If you've been waiting on that resort, now's the time to buy.
Mm-hmm.
All right. We've had some people come here yesterday. They couldn't believe. They said, you're going to give me 2 years free rent for a 10 by 26 home for 50, I think 58.
Mm-hmm.
2 years free rent and a $9,000 worth of bonuses on top of it. And I said, yes, I sure am. I think we've got 22 home sites left over there.
Mm-hmm.
I think we got 16 or 18 people. I'll check.
We'll have to
but
double check, yeah.
we have 22 home sites over there. Now,
Mm-hmm.
that is going to be like this,
Mhm.
all right? But different. It's sitting on 160 acres right across the street.
Right.
So it's going to be a another phase, a different phase over there, a different community. We call it the resort. I
Mm-hmm.
may call it something different after we get it developed.
Mhm.
But if you've been hearing about this, thinking about it, waiting on it, all the homes are going to, right now we're selling homes that are 10 by 26 and larger, a Freedom, RJO, whatever you like over there.
Okay.
And will get you more privacy. They're bigger
Mhm.
lots. more room because there's more land over there.
And two, I want Ruba's on here. She said waiting for ITH to contact me so I can be one of the 22 left in the resort. So be sure
Okay.
to send us an email.
Yeah.
To info, because we have got a lot. Sam, Barbie, everybody is Alyssa, me. We're all busy, so we don't want to miss
Yeah,
you. So be
yeah.
sure send us an email to info so we can get that going for you.
Yeah, and do that, everybody. Either,
Because I mean, we've got to find what. Send it again and put it to my attention.
okay.
Because she said she sent it 5 times, so we want to make sure that
Wow.
you don't get missed.
Who? The Ruba.
Yeah, Ruba.
Well, let's keep. You know what? My phone, I see emails, ding, 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 and
Yeah.
when I can, I'll try to look at them and read them. I called somebody today that I seen their email,
Mm-hmm.
and I called 2 yesterday or notified them. But I get with Alyssa to make sure that that's documented because
Yeah.
I can't do that. You text me,
Don't text,
Like,
please,
don't
please.
text
do
Randy.
not text Randy about anything to do with work. Do
Totally.
not. It goes to info. You have to.
I have.
We have to have an email.
I love doing it, but I've got
No.
22 things going on
No.
at the same time.
Me, Alyssa, or Amber will not know what's going on. We won't have a clue what's going on, and you will get missed. That's
Yeah.
for work orders. That's
Right.
for anything to do
Right.
with sales, anything. So send it to info.
Good.
Yeah.
Good. So
Okay.
a lot of cool stuff.
So much going
Wanted to
on.
show you what was going on as best we can.
Derek said, "Can I text Randy about having dinner?" Absolutely.
Oh, time for food. Let's go. Yes, I'm ready.
Anything else, but nothing to do with work,
Yeah,
please.
nothing to do with work.
Yeah, we will never know. Randy said today. He said, somebody give me $100, and I don't remember who it was. I mean, honest to God, people, he said that.
walk by and
$100. Me and Alyssa, we're all looking at each other like, whose utilities was that?
listen. I don't deal money. You're not going to believe this. I just think about money is getting things done.
Mhm.
That's all. Because when I don't even go to the store to have. I don't have a pocket full
Put
of
it this
change.
way:
Nothing.
if I ever see Randy pull out any money out of his pocket,
Where'd you get it?
I always, where'd you get that? Whose is that? Why do you have? I always say, why do you have money?
Yeah, and I'm like,
Randy should not have any cash
How did I
on
get
him.
that? I can't remember how
What's
I
in
got
your
that.
pocket now?
Keys.
That better be all.
Home house keys. Forgot to give her her keys.
Brenda said, Amanda, it's a guy thing. It must be.
Golly. Well, I pay myself $500 a week to work here. All right. Accountant said you got to pay yourself. So I do. Well, it's directly deposited. So I never have any cash on me.
Never.
So that's why Amanda says, where'd you get that?
Where'd you get that?
Yeah.
And Ruba just sent her email. I seen it just pop in, and it said to my attention, so I got
I just heard it. I just felt my butt vibrate.
it.
Yeah.
Well, it's exciting because I'm going to tell you something. It is the next 2 weeks, especially with this getting done, people getting moved. There's going to be a lot of videos, a lot of stuff going
Oh,
on.
man.
Another
great.
thing that I want to mention, I posted on Facebook a picture of all the cards that we have received thus far, letters, and a big box that was for neighbor Sue.
Oh,
And if you
yeah.
haven't seen it, please look
Yeah.
at it. It brightened her up. She's over at her daughter's house, and it really tickled her to death. And she said, it almost makes me cry when she told Mill, she said it's one of her daughters. She said, please tell my movie star I love him. And she's always called Randy her movie star.
Wow.
Always. And so it's very, very sweet. She's having a tough battle going on here. So it's tough.
Isn't that cool?
She's been watching Randy for 5.5 years now,
Yeah.
So,
Man, and she's the kind of lady
oh,
would never, ever have a rude
no,
thing to say.
no,
Never tell you what to do, what you did wrong, nothing.
no.
No, I mean, it ain't nothing but just goodness all
Yeah.
the time. This is good.
And you always know
Man.
she's for you. You
Always.
know, she
And-
just.
Yeah. Wow. Cool.
So thank everybody. I can't thank you enough. And I did post it again. If you want to send her something, a card, a letter, leave comments on the Facebook.
Yeah.
I told the girls, both of her daughters, I said, hey, there's going to be probably leaving some comments, and they can read those to her. So anything that
Yeah.
you want to do,
This
pray.
is her third bout.
Yeah,
It's her third bout with
Mhm.
cancer. And listen, she's weak.
yeah,
She's very weak, and she's.
Mhm.
We're hoping, you know what it is.
yeah.
She's down.
She's
And
down.
so we just feel fortunate we have this
Platform.
venue platform to be able to help her if we can. It's just encouragement. That's all we
Yeah.
want. Don't
And
give her
tha-
nothing.
Just thank
She don't
everybody.
need anything but just
Mhm.
loving, you know.
Yep, that's
Yeah.
right.
So, all right, everybody. We will continue to do this. Tomorrow we got to get back in the warehouse, man. We got to show some homes, what we're building.
We got a couple of houses leaving this week.
Yeah, Matt's
Yeah.
taking a couple out of here.
Mhm.
And at the end of the week, maybe we'll show you some more. We'll hopefully have Jack Pine done. We'll see how much Tamarac's done. We're
Mhm.
going to get an inspection on the other 12 or 15 home sites that maybe will be done for next
Mhm.
week, you know. So it's cranking, it's going. Man, keep us in your prayers and your mind and everything
yeah.
you're doing. This is a big deal for us. We got a lot of people working
Mhm.
from ordering trailers and materials and in construction
and
and
it's a
quality.
lot of people too. The customers are having to pack up their homes that they've been living in, especially here on the property. So a lot of movement's going to be going on for customers, for us. So it's just going to be a lot. So everybody just be patient, be kind. Let's take our time and just realize that hey, we're all in this. So
Yep.
this is all new. It ain't going to go perfect. So let's just and the skirting will come at a time.
It'll all
the decks will
happen.
come at a time. A shed will come. So just we got to just
You got it.
hold on.
Yeah, I'll tell you, because when it happens, we can only do what we can do.
Yeah.
And when it comes a certain time, I'm laying down. That's just what it is. We'll get up and we'll start tomorrow.
Yep, exactly.
So, and that's what you guys need to do.
Mhm.
When it gets a certain time, you've done all we can do. We milked the day dry.
Yep.
We'll start again tomorrow.
Okay.
All right. Everybody, have a great night. I'm glad. Think about Jimmy, my friend Jimmy that was here, the inspector. Go back to the beginning of the video and you can listen to some really cool stuff about inspections, about zoning and codes, and he's in our back pocket. And so he's a wealth of knowledge, and he's really actually going to be a proponent for us in other states, especially Florida. I've been wanting to get a community down there also.
Very
So
helpful.
go back and listen to that. We beginning of the video doing the tie downs for the homes. If you need a tie down, he quoted a price, and it was John Hauling,
Or John Halls.
johnhalls.com.
HAULS.
And he hauls everything from tractors to everything across the country, and he'll actually put your underpinning around your home for you.
Mhm.
So go back to the beginning of the video if you didn't get to see the beginning of that. It's kind of cool, you
Okay.
know. So, all right, we got to go.
Yep.
Thank you. Have a great night. What you say, buddy? What you doing? What you doing? What is it? Let's go. Let's go. Look how happy he is.
Digging? Oh my God.
What are you doing? What are you doing?
His back ain't hurt no more.
No,
Is it?
no. Good boy. There's water down there, ain't you, buddy? What's in there? What's in there? What's in there?
What's he getting into?
All he needed was me to say, what's in there, and he had to go down in there. Look.
What are you in?
Ace, what are you
In
doing?
that water.
What are you doing? Get up here. Good boy.